Hello and welcome to the first episode of the new season of the Justin Hamilton podcast, season 9. Yes, they said we'd never get here, but we did. And look at us now. Look at us now. Thanks for joining me. As you know, for anyone who is a long-time listener, you know I like to freshen the series up between seasons. I like to have a look at what I enjoyed, what could use a little bit of makeup, and could just be given a new sense of purpose. And one of the things that we'll be doing this season is having more regular segments and very specific to promoting what's coming up. So someone who'll be joining me on a regular basis and is the star of this episode is my good mate Molk, who is going to be joining me every 3 to 4 weeks to discuss what's coming up on television and probably using at least 1 or 2 shows as an anchor for what we're going to revolve around. To begin with, we're starting with season 2 of The Pitt, which just dropped its first episode on Friday. And so Molk is across TV like nobody I know. He's already seen a whole lot of stuff. He knows things that are coming up. So he's the perfect person to be catching up with and finding out about what's just around the corner and what he thinks might appeal to us. So that is a fun way to start the season. Alexi Toliopoulos will be doing movies. My mate author Garth Jones will be talking books. And we'll make a few more announcements from there as well. And of course, Dave Anthony will be returning as a regular guest, as will my good friend Will Anderson. So we'll be keeping things rolling. And as I said, just being a little bit more specific about the episodes and doing a little bit more promo. And of course, I'll still do stuff where I'll be reviewing movies that I've seen and talking about other things as separate episodes, but we'll just have a couple of touchstones throughout the season that you can look forward to keep across stuff. I should also announce that as of this morning, my first newsletter has dropped. For those of you who didn't know, I left my management midway through last year. We left on the most amicable of terms, and I am now getting back to my 90s indie alternative artist roots. And what that means is, I have to kind of remind people about what I'm doing because I've got no one else to rely on to do it. So the first newsletter has dropped this morning. Does a newsletter drop? Sent out. I think it was sent out. It was emailed. The newsletter was emailed, and it will come out every 2 weeks, and will give you a heads up on what's going on my side of things, including my Substack, what's going on Patreon, what's going on at YouTube, and you can keep up with live events and see where I'm touring, etc. And as it wears on, that this first newsletter is pretty much an introduction, and from there, I'll probably throw in some recommendations and things like that in case you're looking for stuff to do, read, listen to, etc. So if you would like to sign up to that newsletter and be across things, head to my website, justinhamilton.com.au, and you will find all the details on the front page how you can sign up for that. Keep an eye on your spam. If you have received emails from my ex-management before, you will have received the newsletter. So check your spam and then bookmark it as one of your favorites. So then it'll appear in your inbox. But that is the newsletter, and I promise I will not be clogging up your email life any more than it has to be. So it'll just be a good place for you to be able to stay in touch and for me to let you know what's going on and which parts of it might appeal. I should also let you know there is a new Substack that is open to the general public. It's one of the dispatches from the Fury Road editions, and it talks about the day in between David Bowie's last album, Black Star, being released, and the day before he died, and what I thought of that album before everything changed on January 10th. It's been 10 years since that album came out. So if you are interested in what that album might have been like before the terrible news came through, I had a very different opinion of that album, and I try not to let uh, the emotion of what happened 24 hours later affect what I was actually feeling about the songs. And I still think it's an album full of life and mystery, and it's cheeky. A lot of these pieces, when they talk about David Bowie, they always forget to discuss his sense of humor. He had a sense of humor. All through his stuff, there was a sense of humor, even when there's the high drama and he's being uh, quite romantic or gothic or whatever you want to describe him as. There was always a sense of humor, and that's a cheeky album as well. So if you'd like to read the thoughts about that, you can head over to my Substack and find the link there. And if you feel like signing up, you can get access to my memoir, One Foot in the Spotlight, an ongoing series about what it was like to start in the stand-up world, and the subsequent adventures I've had since. Over at Patreon, of course, you can find access to bonus podcasts and live shows. And over at my YouTube page, I have uploaded my stand-up special, Little Victories. It's there. It was filmed like this time last year. And yeah, I was really proud of this show. I really enjoyed the show. It was my first foray back into stand-up after COVID. And this is just I truncated it down to like a 45, 47 minutes, I think these specials can go on too long. And you actually hear me talk to Molk about a very famous comedian that I barely got 13 minutes into their special. So yeah, let's if you find the comedian I talk about annoying as well, just watch my special and you know out of spite towards this person. I think that's a good enough reason. You can find all of those links over at justinhamilton.com.au/stuff. Click on that section and you'll find all the links that will suit you. Okay, enough of the updates for how everything's going to work this season. Let's bring in Molk, and I'll pop by at the end just to touch base. All right. Speak soon. The beginning of 2026, and somehow before we started recording, my TV guru, Molk, how many shows have you already watched? Or
I,
at
I,
least started?
yeah, 11.
11. Yeah,
It's good, but it's brutal.
we are recording on the 12th of January, and so that is a new show every day, or do you knock off a couple in a day and then make sure you have some TV days that don't exist?
It depends on what it is, right? Some of
Mm.
them, like we'll talk about The Rip probably, that's a 2 hour, movie ostensibly.
Right.
And a couple of them are hangovers from sort of New Year's Eve-ish,
Yeah.
New Year's Christmas kind of vibes. So there is no TV days.
Yeah.
But then when I get sort of a bit hyper focused, it's like, oh no, I'm going to watch every episode of this, and oh, there's still time. I'll watch 2 episodes of that, or I'll watch this thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I got to tell you, it's real easy when they're pretty all good.
Oh, good. That's what you want to hear, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
well, it's sometimes like sometimes I've committed to a TV show where uh about halfway through you go, I just don't know if enough is happening,
Mm.
or maybe it's not quite as good as I thought it would be, and then it feels a little bit like you're running in sand. So
Oof.
when
Yeah. Yeah.
you need shows to be at the very least good.
Yeah, and I hold a personal value that if
Mm,
I'm going to preview something, particularly a series,
yeah,
I'll give it 3 episodes. And
yeah,
and I acknowledge that that's way more than most people give it.
yeah,
In part because I want to see, look, the first episode might not be super great or it's doing too much work or whatever. does that pay off or does that get me anywhere? And one of the shows that we'll hopefully talk about in this ep is one of those shows where I thought after episode 2, I went, oh no, this is nah. And then episode 3 just went, there it is. That's
Yeah.
the thing I wanted to see.
Yeah, it's interesting. You've got to give you can often tell if something has the germ of a good idea, and then you just hope that it finds its rhythm with it, and
Yeah.
it kind of unlocks the best way to tell the story and express that idea. And sometimes it takes two, three, four episodes, or I think the famous one is Parks and Recreation, which essentially took a season and was pretty lucky to get that second season to then kick
Mm.
on.
Yeah, even the cast talk about just start season 2, just
Yeah,
start there.
yeah,
And The Office the same, right? That first season of the US Office was tough going, and they were only getting renewed almost week to week
yes,
until a couple of things happened in the second season that included the launch of the iPod.
yes.
That meant it just exploded for them.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, you forget about that. And then many seasons of success. By the way, just as a little diversion, one of the things I thought I should do more this year is actually watch some stand-up specials. I don't usually watch stand-up because
Mm.
I just prefer stand-up in the room, and I
Yeah.
find the stand-up specials to just be a little bit distancing. So uh, I had that thought, and then the first show that was kind of presented to me was Ricky Gervais'
Oof.
latest. And I think I've said on this podcast before, if you put my values alongside Ricky Gervais and what I think about things and my takes on things, we're almost one for one. But
Mm.
in the package of Ricky Gervais, he makes me want to eat a steak. He makes me want to go and kick a dog, like just to
Mm.
just to spite him. I got 13 minutes in, and I thought I've done my best here.
Oh, Hamo, that's 30 more minutes than I would ever have a go at. And like it's an interesting thing, right? Because I really enjoy the original UK Office. I thought that was actually a really incredible piece of television.
Oh no, that's like it's unimpeachable, and
Mm.
I'd stand by extras as well. I reckon
Yep.
extras is fantastic.
And then you get stuff where he's doing his standing up comedy. And it's like, oh, is it?
Well,
Yeah.
well, the thing is that, and I'm just going to get deep in the weeds here, but
Mm.
he became a stand-up comedian when he was famous, so he's never had to work a room where nobody knows him, and he hasn't had to win them over, and he hasn't had to be more muscular with his approach because, you know, they don't know who he is, so he could lose them quickly. But his audience is already there, so they go.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I find the most offensive about it is I just find his stand up to be really flabby.
Yeah, and because as you said, he comes to it as a famous person,
Mm,
there's places lining up to just give him, dump loads of cash to
mm,
give them his
mm.
new stand-up special because they know he's got a pre-built audience. And
Yeah.
in the year of our Lord 2026, when the options are no audience or
Mm,
pre-built audience that will guarantee us some, streaming eyeballs, which
yeah.
again we'll also talk about on another thing,
Yeah.
that proves to be a compelling argument for a streaming service, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And he ends up being number one. And I've uploaded a special on YouTube and it's probably had 19 views. So I guess Ricky Gervais can shove my existential face into the void and win categorically. But yeah, 13 minutes in, and I was like, oh, you've done your best. Let's go and
Mm.
find somebody else.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of streaming as well,
Yes.
the did you? I heard that the number one streaming show on the Disney app at 39 billion hours was Bluey.
Oh, and I would say yes,
Yeah,
because in Australia, the number one streaming show on ABC iView in all of Australia is
yeah,
Bluey.
yeah. But it's nice that it's dominating in America. It makes
Oh,
me
yes.
makes me very happy to think that there's American kids taking on Australianisms in their language. It just because the amount of Australian kids who don't know how to pronounce R's or whatever because they've been brought up on American cartoons.
ZZ, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's just great. Yeah, JZ is how I like to call him out of spite.
Yeah, that guy. Look, I think the best thing about Bluey for mine is and full credit to the studio. We could do a whole episode on Bluey. I'm
Mm,
an adult Bluey fan. It's a bad good, bad, good thing,
Mm,
is that they had the wherewithal to not just go, we are going to make 11 million episodes of this.
mm,
There's a finite number, and in part, it's because the two young ladies that play Bluey and Bingo, the two
mm.
sisters, actually don't know who they are. The rumor is that it's the creators' kids, and of
Right.
course, they've been making it for so long, they've grown up.
Right. Yes.
So they don't just want to recast them and find, new voices, because that in itself would be a bit grating.
Mm.
So they kind of had this big, huge episode where, the healers were going to sell the house, they didn't sell the house, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
The season series finale. And
Yeah.
went, oh no, there's going to be more. I went, no, there's not. What they're doing now is a Bluey film, which is just going to make a bajillion dollars.
Yeah. Great.
And I'd say that will be it.
That'll be it. Yeah. There's something to be said for finishing something. And
Please.
I'll save this for when Garth Jones is on We're Talking Books, but I just read all of Frank Miller and Dave Gibbons' Martha Washington series, which begins with her birth and ends with her death. And it was all these stories were told over 20 years. And there's just something really satisfying about things ending.
Oh, yes. And I just resonate with that so deeply, Hammo. One of my favorite TV series of all of the times, Breaking Bad, has
Hmm.
that very distinct, here's where we start and here is where we end,
Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah, it's great. And you don't need any more. You don't need any
No.
more of that story. It's done. And it's good to miss things as well.
Oh yeah, and like my pile of shame is ginormous.
Mm.
I haven't watched Heated Rivalries, right? The big new summer
Yeah,
winter, thing on Netflix. It's also not my bag, but I also haven't thought I'll check out 3 episodes of that, and I'm cool with it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's you can't like everything, and you can't watch everything,
I'll
and
give it a
it's
red hot go on both of those counts, mate.
oh, mate. Yeah, I know. Well, I managed to squeeze in like 160 movies last year and something like 45 TV shows. I think I read something like 45, 50 graphic
Oof.
novels. And that's not including, that's not just not including articles and everything, churning out gigs, blah, 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 churning out podcasts. And then someone says, I can't believe you didn't watch such and such. It's like, mate, I'm doing my best
Jesus.
here. I am doing
Right.
my best.
Mate, 160 odd films is over three a week.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like, come on, guys. Just like, just tell me that about what I've missed. Don't don't
Yeah, that's
don't have a
right.
little dig that somehow I'm letting you down because I finally missed it. Something that I have only missed, as in I was missing it after the first season, and I'm rapt that it's back for the second season, is the Pit. And I figured
Mm.
we can over the since we'll be doing this monthly, we can just check in, every few hours on the Pit. For those who haven't seen it, it's set in a hospital, and every episode is an hour of the shift. And I thought the last season was fantastic. It wasn't necessarily reinventing the wheel. It felt very much like the DNA of ER, which
Mm.
is to the extent the DNA is so prominent that the Michael Crichton estate is
Yes.
kicking up a bit of a fuss about it. But you could have made it an ER series, but you chose not to. So they went and made the Pit.
Mm.
Um, but it did feel like while the DNA felt familiar, it felt updated. And as I said on this podcast earlier, what I loved about it was in ER, someone would come in at the beginning of the episode, and at the end of the episode, their story was finished. But because this is hour to hour, people come in the first hour, and sometimes they're there 4 hours later, which is 4 episodes later. And if you're watching it week to week, that means you've lived with that character for a month. So whatever the denouement to their story is, it kind of hits you emotionally much harder, good, bad, or otherwise. And seeing this come back, and it's a good first episode. And what I liked the most about this, the beginning to this second season, was the temperature is nice and warm. It's not
Mm.
it's not dialed up. They haven't started too dramatic. They know that they're confident. Like it feels really confident. Uh, they know where they're going. And what they did in that first episode was just give you a little taste of all sorts of different stories, uh, reintroduce you to characters that you already knew, brought in a few new characters that
Yeah.
helped show the development of the original characters. And I thought it was just a superb start to a new season.
It's you're bang on, Hamo, and look, I'm going to share the love with you
Yeah.
as far as what the Pit did. It won a whole bunch of the awards last year, and
Mm.
rightly so. And I would expect with this new season that we're about to get, we'll do the same. Story-wise, it's set not quite a year after the events of season one, so it's not like day two. We've had time
Yeah.
pass, which
It's a
allows a whole bunch of those stories that you talk about with characters coming in and doing things. Stuff has changed for them. You know,
yeah.
relationships, life,
Yeah.
family, who they are, all that stuff is incredible. And yeah, it's a great landing. It's the lethal weapon approach, isn't it? Dr. Robbie is the day before he goes on sabbatical, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
So nothing can go wrong. And then likely everything will go wrong. It's going to be incredible. The other part of it, like you said, is that we get to sit with these characters
Yeah.
for nearly 4 months. Like
Yes.
at 15 episode season, which is unheard of now,
Yeah.
weekly. So every week we're going to get these episodes roll out. And with Friday's season two premiere on HBO Max, we got exactly like you said. Here's just little shots of everybody,
Yeah.
just enough to know that stuff is still boiling,
Yeah.
that Langdon is still in sort of the mix of things. Robbie's not happy about it. We've got a couple of new, understandably, registrars, interns have come in,
Yeah.
and the ones that were there have grown up and are now being good proper doctors, proper air quotes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of the stuff, like the character development, even just in those registrars that we met last time, the character development for them
Yeah.
has been brilliant, let alone the fact that we've got Robbie, we've got Dana, we've got Langdon, we've got the whole team.
Yeah.
And it's I am trying to really be cautious around my words because HBO have given us 9 of the first ep, so I'm going to have to watch it weekly again anyway.
Right.
Because
Right.
by the time the episode 10 lands,
Yeah.
that's
Who
2
knows?
months away,
Yeah.
3 months away.
Yeah.
I'm there's just these great incremental steps that are absolutely reflected in the writing is saying, let's stay contained in an hour. What is legit to happen in this hour? Rather than going, well, we can jump forward a little bit. Well, you don't need to see that. And because it's an emergency room experience, mate, they can just cut all over the place to stories. And like you said, have this person who's sitting in a waiting room for 4 or 5 hours. And we
Yeah.
just touch base with them maybe twice because they're getting upset or something's happened over here.
Yeah.
And it's still exactly the right amount of chaos. It's the middle of Pittsburgh summer. It's
Well, it's July
4th of
4th.
July. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Everything is happening exactly how you would expect it to. And let me tell you, it gets even worse slash better.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Yeah. It'd be. Don't get me wrong, maybe about 6 seasons in, I'd love a 15-hour season where it's just a really nice shift.
Yeah,
And
or
that's
dull.
yeah, it's really a real breather. But
Yes.
this is set 10 months afterwards, which is, it's
Mm.
funny that you bring up. Well, to begin with, the opening is a real power play with Dr. Robbie on a
Yes.
motorbike, not wearing a helmet, like and I've seen some people kind of comment on that being a bit of a cheesy opening to the episode, but to me, what sums up everything about that is not Dr. Robbie on a motorbike without a helmet riding to work. What sums up everything about that is when Dana turns up
Mm.
and she's chewing on her nicotine gum and she looks at the motorbike and she rolls her eyes. And
Yeah.
that to me is why you have that opening, because from that moment I'm like, oh yeah, Dr. Robbie's having his little midlife crisis and she's just a little bit about it. And that to me is the subtlety of the storytelling in an
Yeah.
episode where they're doing an operation on someone and they can't stop the man from bleeding and they roll his lung over and they
Mm.
have to be careful in case they tear it from the body. Um, there's
So good.
there's there's still there's maximalism in moments like that, but there's also minimalism in the storytelling where you absolutely understand where Dr. Robbie is, not through anyone else, not through saying, but through another character's reaction of, oh, his motorbike.
Yep. Oh, and let me tell you, the glorious, just as a little, to carry that tag, comes up. It just
Yeah, of
little
course.
moments where they're
Yeah,
just giving him shit about the
yeah,
fact that he's having his midlife crisis.
yeah, of course. And that's what sets it, head and shoulders above so many other TV shows that are on. You brought up Dr. Langdon already, mate. Dr. Langdon was the one of the hard pivots in
Mm,
season one for me, where I just by the end was like, fuck this guy. I hate Langdon. And I have to be honest, him turning up in this episode and the insouciance with which he was carrying himself and trying to be,
mm.
pals with Dr. Robbie, like, I, I'm open for this character to win me back over, but for the moment, I'm still fuck you. Fuck
Yep.
you for everything you said to Dr. Robbie, for the way you carried on, and don't just come back in and think you're going to be able to charm everybody.
No, and look, it's he he has such an interesting, story to tell
Mm,
in how this plays out for him. And you're right, mate. Along with you and me, Dr. Robbie ain't taking any of his shit.
yeah,
Even to the point where he questions, why is he here today?
yeah,
I was hoping he was starting tomorrow.
yeah, yeah,
Like when
exactly.
I'm not here anymore, or I'm
Yeah,
off for 3 months or whatever it is. And
yeah,
there's a whole lot of in glorious American kind of fashion
mm,
to, if I say, survive those kinds of experiences and things that Langdon did. You go to therapy and you'd go
mm,
through a 12-step program.
mm,
So he's trying to be, the nice, a bit schmoozy, but I want to make good guy.
mm,
And there is a whole bunch of people that do not want to hear it.
yeah. And
And
it's
we
good.
still have to save people's lives.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was fun looking, just catching in the first episode the quick glimpse on Santos' face when she
Yeah.
sees him. Santos, see, there's even character development with her where, she's still hanging shit on people, but it's
Mm,
just it's just a little bit gentler and it's a little bit more familiar. Like
mm.
they've been working together for 10 months now. She is who she is,
Yep.
but it's a little bit softer with the jibes, and it also seems like other characters know how to kind of take it on.
Yeah, and she's still in the thick of being a registrar, a trainee
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
So she's still in the grand pile of how you get stuff done. She is
yeah,
a shit stirrer, like a shit kicker, but
yeah,
not quite the bottom level as the new kids are. So
yeah,
she's at least got a little bit of her own, ability to control her job and what she can do and stuff she can take on without having to be watched or guided.
yeah,
Um, but along with that comes just a railroad of responsibility around just making sure you get stuff done. You've got to
yeah,
chart everything, you've got to write everything down. And in an emergency room, as we see, it's chaos.
yeah,
How you record all of that and do all of that is beyond me.
yeah.
And so, God bless and good luck to all of the doctors that actually do that in real life, because yuck.
Yes, yes, yes. Give them all the money. Give them all the money.
Yeah, God.
Doctors, well, especially nurses, people working in emergency, teachers, but that's another subject for another day. But that's where
Yes.
you know, if uh, if I was in charge, that's where I'd be diverting a lot of money. The three of my favorite characters,
Mm,
probably, I reckon. uh, One, two, and three. I'll start at three. Dr. McKay, Dr.
mm.
McKay,
Either
Kathy.
way.
I love her. I think she's just a really grounded character. Her talking about desperately wanting to get laid to Victoria was just one of the funniest things because like she's just a grounded
Mm.
uh, human character in all of the crisis that is going on. And, that's Fiona Dorff, who is
Yep.
Brad Dourif's daughter. And she's just wonderful. And I
Good
loved,
bones, right? Solid.
yeah, yeah. And, she had all that stuff with what was it? The ankle bracelet. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cops could keep an eye on her.
Because of the issues with her partner and she lost her shit at him once and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that partner turning up was a piece of shit as well. So no
Yep.
wonder she lost her shit at him.
Yep.
So I was rapt to see her again and her wanting to get laid. It's like, she seems nice. Why doesn't someone sleep with her? It's like,
Yep.
hopefully she'll meet someone by the end of this series. The Whitaker, I
Mm,
love Whitaker. Whitaker has taken on more responsibility at the start of this season,
mm.
getting the young'uns to stand around and, you know, remember the person who just died and having Dr. Robbie see it, the thing that he taught him to do. But also, Whitaker did it in a way that it's not natural for him to do it yet. Like,
Mm.
his wording, like Dr. Robbie was very calm and deliberate, and it's something that he's taught many times. This is probably Whitaker's first time of teaching it. And he's just a little bit stumbly, but he still gets the message across. And
Yeah.
that was a nice little area of growth to show you that, oh, it's been 10 months.
Yes.
He's more comfortable now. He's on his way.
Really good writing for the Whitaker character, and even down to the acknowledgement. I've read an interview with Noel Wiley, how they talked about the Whitaker really got developed as not replacing, but kind of the new
Langdon.
person that was being mentored by
Yeah.
Robbie.
Yeah.
That like he took over Langdon's spot,
Yeah.
and you see the Robbieisms, but his own take on them as to
Yeah.
how he plays that out. And you're right, in a lot of cases, he is teaching it for the first time, so there is
Yeah.
stumblings, or there's a slightly different take to the way Robbie would do it. But you catch Robbie seeing him do it a couple of times across, the first 5 or 6 eps,
Yeah.
and just kind of that little satisfied, I know he gets it kind of
Yeah.
smile. It's really, really nice.
Yeah. And if you're going to have Langdon kind of, balancing the anger of it, you need a Whitaker to,
Yep.
be bringing the joy of it. The other character, Mel,
Yep.
Mel was one of my favorite characters, and to see her troubled about possibly getting sued,
Oh,
and
yes.
it's like, oh, of course, everyone else is like, yeah, 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 these things happen, and of course, she'll be thinking deeply about it. But it was interesting to see her driven to distraction by it
Yeah.
as well in
And
that
Taylor
first
Dearden,
episode.
what a bloody performance from her. Not
Yeah,
just the entire first season, even as it plays out into this second season.
yeah,
The ignite, because we got to meet her sister, who is,
yeah,
very clearly autism spectrum disorder,
yeah,
landed, and there's elements of that for Dr. King as well.
yes,
Just her, we don't know anything more than she cares for her sister a lot. We don't know if
yeah,
she's the sole carer or whatever that situation is, but she cares for her a lot. And part of the weight she carries in, being worried about being sued is, of course, how do I care for my sister if I lose my job, if I go to
yeah,
jail, if all that? And it's funny to hear some of the other doctors go, I've been sued 4 times. Like,
yeah,
you're fine. You're
yeah,
at work. The hospital has your back. You did the right thing. She's still freaking out about it, which
yeah, of
is,
course.
it just plays into her as that fresh doctor who wants to do such a great job and is easily fixated on specific parts of her job. To have this big cloud kind of just focusing everything for her
Yeah.
makes for such a great step in her character development. It's so good.
Yeah. Great to see her back, Dana, of course. Great.
Mm,
There's so many good characters.
yeah.
Just want to touch on quickly some of the new characters.
Mm,
Dr. Baron Al Hashimi, who's coming in to take over from Robbie while he's on his sabbatical.
yep.
I think her name is pronounced Sebede Mofi,
Sure.
and she is a strong character really early on. And
Yep.
already, you can, Dr. Robbie quite clearly is not a perfect character and has a little bit of trouble of letting go and being questioned. But at the same time, someone coming in and bringing new ideas immediately is going to rub you the wrong way. So that dynamic was set up very nicely, very quickly.
Yeah, so good. And that sharpness with which she approaches things. I mean, you get it. They're both professionals. They're both seasoned operators in the roles. She's filling in for him while he steps out,
Yeah.
but she's bringing her big ideas from minute one, and some of them Robbie just doesn't want to know about.
Yeah. Also, like, To be honest, as soon as she said, "I don't think we should call this place the Pit because I think it's bad for people's
Oh,
mental health," I was like, "Oh,
yeah, come on.
yeah." It was like on a slightly different level. We had two shows at the Comedy Store on Saturday night.
Mm,
There's a new person working behind the scenes, and the first show was at 6:30, and if you were in Sydney, it was 40 degrees,
mm,
and they were sort of saying. It was a pretty small audience for the first show. The second show was sold out, but the first show was pretty small for the store, that is.
mm.
And they were saying afterwards, "Oh, is there anything we could do better?" I say, "Yeah, like not have it be 38 degrees when people walk outside and then walk in because the audience was just, it was just hot. It was
Yeah,
just
can you
really hot,
air
you know."
condition outside, please?
Yeah, and even if you come into air conditioning at some point you're just tired.
Yeah.
So, they were trying to bring in all these changes, and I was like, that show was really good. And they had a really good time. You just had to look at them. This is not the time to make changes when it's people dealing with extreme heat who have still managed to make their way to the show. So anyway,
Mm.
her coming in and wanting to change the name of the pit, I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, those people need to calm down.
A
Um,
little.
a little. Joy Kwan, who
Mm.
just is seems like she does not really give a fuck about anyone.
Oh, yeah, one of the new interns. Yeah, if there are fucks to give, she gave them and does not care.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just that poor old guy, who has a do not resuscitate, and
Oh,
she's just absolutely dismissive of, oh well, nothing we can do here. Let's move on. It's like, all right, I know exactly who you are. This is good.
yep.
Then there's James Ogilvy,
Mm.
who's the young guy, and he seems all right. He seems like he's pretty eager, and he seems like he might be, taller, more handsome Whitaker, maybe not quite as good as Whitaker.
Yeah, look,
Uh,
and some great stuff from him just in as you want to kind of try and prove yourself in that kind of environment.
yeah,
You know what it's like, Hammer. You run into people, and some people sit back and kind of don't know, not out of fear, just kind of don't know when to step in. And you really kind
yeah,
of look at them, now's your time.
yeah,
And then there are those that express themselves possibly overconfidently and just
yes,
go, I know this, and this is how we do it. And not all of the time is that the right solution.
no.
And yeah, I'll let you guess which way he goes.
Yes, yeah, I can't wait. You could it stank of it very
Yeah.
early on, and also Emma Nolan, who
Mm.
is I like to think named after Christopher's wife, as a little tribute to the underlooked most powerful woman in Hollywood. But uh, first day on the job, and she has to clean that guy who is just covered in his own shit. Like,
Yeah. Yep. Right.
like I'm immediately on her side. Oh, this
Oh,
is the first thing you have to do? Okay.
and glorious to see Dana take her under her wing. You know,
Yes.
like this is the reality. This is the stuff you need to know. We are
Yeah.
here to help basically oil the gears and make things function so that the doctors can save people's lives. That is
Yeah.
not our job.
Yeah.
Our job is to provide some humanity to everybody
Yeah.
at its kind of core.
Yeah.
And yeah, fucking welcome to it.
Yeah. All right. Can't wait. We'll touch base another 3 or 4 episodes in with that. What's some stuff that you've seen that's coming up that you think people might like to keep an eye out for?
Sure, I'll just quickly tag in. They've already announced season 3 of The
Oh,
Pit
yes.
is coming as well too. So
Yes. They
there'll
announced it
be
at
more
the
Pit
premiere,
cast.
didn't they?
Yeah, yeah, and
Mm.
even to the point where they were filming. Obviously, the cast knew,
Mm.
and because I've double checked this, it's not AI. There's a trailer going around where there's each member of the cast on set doing part of their character, walking around with an inflated helium balloon that's the number 3 hanging off their wrist, or they're walking along holding onto it.
Oh, right, right, right.
Um, so they were aware enough that it was coming, so that then, yeah, at the premiere, oh, by the way, yeah, we all
Mm.
knew, thanks. And what amazing, kind of job security does that offer them to say, not only have we locked away these 15 you're about to see, but
Mm.
we've got 15 more to come.
Well, it's one of the big bugbears of the streaming era is just not knowing when TV shows will come back. I think Severance, in particular, really suffered for me. I really lost the rhythm of that show,
Mm,
and even though like I still enjoyed the second season, but I was an early adopter of that first season, was all in, and then just never quite landed back to where I was, and
yep.
I just don't know. If I'd spent too much time away from it, I probably needed to rewatch the first season if I'd had the time. But this I still think the part of the secret sauce to Slow Horses is you get a trailer for the next season at the end of the current
Yeah.
season. So
Yep.
knowing that, in another year we'll have another 15 episodes is great.
Yeah, and game on, frankly. Like
Yeah.
they can just be injecting that straight into my veins. I'll take it.
Yep. Yep. Uh,
Uh,
so what do you reckon? What's the things that you think people will be interested in seeing?
All right, well, I'm going to jump back one. So this is a
Hmm.
series that landed New Year's Day in
Yep.
Australia. It's an Australian series.
Yep.
It's called Dear Life. And this, I mean, as far as casts go, it's pretty fucking amazing.
Yep.
Brooke Satchwell, Eleanor Matsuura, who was in The Walking Dead,
Yep.
Ryan Johnson, Ben Lawson, Annie Maynard, Daniel Henshall, Kerry Armstrong, Deborah Mailman, Marg Downey. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's some amazing current actors and some actors that are just legends that
Yeah.
fall into this. The
Yeah.
basic premise is this: Lillian is engaged to a guy called Ash, who is a doctor. He's attacked by an ice addict while doing his job, and she has to make the decision to turn off his life support.
Right.
Months later, Lillian is still reeling in the aftermath of her fiance's death when she receives a letter from a man who was crushed by a motorbike thanking her for his new heart.
Right.
Now, Lillian suddenly feels a bit better, and let me tell you, she's on a bender.
Yeah.
She wants more of that feeling better stuff. She wants to know more about the people that were able to be saved by the donation of her fiance's organs. It's a pretty grim kind of setup. Here we are, we're
Mm.
talking about organ donation and those sorts of things. And you would think, well, that's going to be a bleak story, maybe with sort of the standard kind of bow on it, kind of hope things and that sort of stuff. I reckon the secret sauce in this isn't just, dare I say it, Brooke Satchwell, who I think is phenomenal.
Mm.
It's created, written, and directed by Robin Hope and Wayne Butler.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes.
So all of a sudden, we get this incredibly hard drama series
Yeah.
that has wonderfully and incredibly complex characters and just moments of real life insanity slash comedy that you go, that that fits and it works here because these are real people telling us an actual story and not just confected, person does thing, narrative step, the end.
Yeah.
I think the thing that the runs on the board that Robin and Wayne give us is that they're able to find the humanity in their stories and just let it open up.
Yeah.
And yeah, the thing that struck me more than anything about this is what we're seeing are actual human characters. Like there are
Mm.
people that make decisions that you just go, I wouldn't make that decision. That's not the right thing because humans make fucked up decisions
Right.
just as much as they make real ones. And we get to see this
Yeah.
across these incredible 6 episodes. Dear Life is a winner, Hammer. I loved
Right.
it.
Now, is that on Stan?
Yeah, it's on Stan, all 6 episodes. Kill it. It is, I mean, you can sit down and try and binge all of it. I would say this is going to be best if you just kind of let it wash over you and sit on
Yeah.
maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Um, and because that allows you to really chew on the stuff. Because I think if you just smashed through it, you would miss so many of those. You would misjudge, I think,
Yeah.
um, the complex decisions that come out of character choices.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Brooke Satchwell was so good in Mr. In Between,
Hmm.
where in many ways uh, she reflected the better aspects of Ray's character, and when he lost his temper in front of her, and don't get me wrong, it was hilarious because
Yeah.
it was you know Edgerton that he threw through the window, Edgerton with a ponytail as well, but
Yes.
uh, the she was so good in that, and because that series is probably my all-time favorite Australian series because there was ramifications to
Mm,
the actions, and her acting in that was uh, really important to grounding the fact that you can't do these things. Like I would say um, one of the little flaws of Breaking Bad is that I don't think they intended for this, but I think the character of Skylar wasn't quite nailed in that and people are dickheads as well, but people
mm,
could easily take on board that she was the killjoy and the fun
mm.
of the series. And I think it's something that they improved with Kim Wexler and Better Call Saul
Yep.
and subsequently from there. But so you could have if she'd been poorly written and acted, she could have been seen as, yeah, but we love Ray,
Yep.
he's allowed to do these things, but her acting and the writing that accomplished it, really it really drove home that this is not on. This is not
Yep.
right. So seeing her get to be the lead in a series like this is extremely exciting.
Yeah, I reckon we're in life's sort of span, the summer of Brooke Satchwell, because
Mm.
she was amazing in The 12, which is on Binge,
Yep.
Foxtel.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent as the anchor to this. Ryan Johnson plays her brother, and their on-screen chemistry in that brother-sister scenario is just fucking awesome,
Yep.
honestly.
Yep.
The right level of giving each other shit and then just being there for each other in the middle of nightmares is
Yep.
excellent.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she's fabulous. And then that parlays, dare I, into a show that's about to land on the ABC. It's called Dog Park,
Yep.
in which she only has a small role. She is the increasingly, distant wife to Leon Ford's Roland. Now, Leon creates this show. He directs a couple, writes a couple, like it's all of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Um, Roland is in a midlife crisis, and he meets an eternal optimist in Samantha and her just ragtag bunch of friends that are dog parkers.
Yep.
So people that take their dogs, they always meet up and hang out, let their dogs do what they need to do. Roland is not a fan of the family dog, but it's basically the responsibility of the dog is thrust upon him as his wife. Emma buggers off in her job overseas, and it's very clear that that's just not working for both of them. They are not destined to be together for much longer.
Yep.
Roland begrudgingly keeps returning to the park and to this group, realizing in the process that he might actually need this community, even though he is not a people person.
Right.
Um, in and of itself, it's a fine little sort of comedy drama, 30-minute eps. It'll be fine on Sunday night and ABC iView when you get to it. However, apart from the fact that Brooke is excellent, she's in it for 10 seconds, ostensibly, in and out of it.
Right.
The glue that holds this together is, I think, everybody's friend Celia Piccola, who,
Yes.
fuck me, if she just hasn't grown into one of the best actors
Yeah.
that is also a fucking amazing stand-up comedian
Yeah.
in Australia. She's just absolutely smashing this.
Yeah. Yeah. That does not surprise me at all. Celia's very good at being vulnerable
Mm.
and letting a camera just kind of sit on her face and let her emotions through in lots of subtle ways. So none of this surprises me whatsoever. And then she also just has, amazing comedic chops as well.
Oh, and two of the best eyebrows in the business, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that woman can kill you and deliver a punchline with
yeah,
one raise.
yeah,
It's a great sort of ensemble cast, adding into those people, Elizabeth Alexander, Grace Chow, Ash Flanders, Nick Boshia pops up. It is a real easy watch. It's despite the fact that it's kind of born out of this breaking up, brokening relationship.
yeah,
Um, but it's the acknowledgement that this mismatched group of dog parkers have nothing in common
yeah,
other than their dogs,
yeah.
and the way that that bonds them together is stellar.
Great.
And just make you go, I just want to get a dog and go and join those guys. I just want to be a part of that.
When does that drop?
That kicks off the 1st of February
Yep.
on ABC. All apps will be on iView, or you can watch it week to week, Sunday nights on
Okay.
our ABC.
Our ABC.
Mm,
Hopefully still our ABC.
so
Uh,
far.
And we're running out of time, and I know
Yep.
you have a massive list. So, but you'll be coming back on a regular basis. So hit me with your third favorite.
Okay. This was one. Oh, yeah. Look, this is the one that I spoke about that I said by the time I got to the third episode, oh, there it is.
Yep.
Game of Thrones is not everybody's thing. I absolutely appreciate. This is ostensibly a very half-step prequel. So it's not the big early House of the Dragon like we've got running on HBO at the Max at the moment.
Hmm.
This is just prior to all of the people that we know from Game of Thrones.
Right.
It's a story about a what they call a hedge knight. So he's a knight, but he
Yep.
doesn't have money. He doesn't have land. He's just kind of going around the place being a knight.
Right.
Sir Duncan the Tall is his name, played by a
Right.
guy called Peter Claffey. And Hamo, three things win for this. One, it's a really fun story.
Yep.
Two, they're 30-minute episodes.
Oh,
Like, holy
really?
shit.
Right. So is this almost like Game of Thrones sitcom?
A little, except that there is absolutely still the Game of Thrones brutality that you've come to expect, where
Right.
there's big jousting scenes and, battle and all sorts of stuff that plays out with the Game of Thrones level of, oh no, there's his insides coming out, or there's a, head coming off in a helmet.
Yep.
Um, all of those sorts of things. And then this core relationship between Sir Dunk and his squire, Egg, who he just kind of inherits.
Right.
And this tale of these guys together across the 6 episodes, superb.
Yep.
And they haven't confirmed it yet. I really hope that there's a second season. That would be incredible in and of itself.
Right.
But it's going to be, I think it's a really easy watch and super fun. And that starts this coming Sunday, the 19th on HBO Max.
Okay. So what, you were saying that like the first couple of episodes, it took a hot second to find its feet. What was it partly expectations from your side of things, or was it something to do with the mechanics of the storytelling that needed to be ironed out?
Yeah, I felt it kind of was. I thought the story was headed in this direction based on how they were setting it up.
Yep.
And I just went, oh, this is a bit pedestrian. Like, I'll deal with it, but sure. And the first episode gives you a glimmer of hope, and that's why as much as I went, okay, here, season two, episode two, let's go.
Mm,
And then I got through episode two and I went, if that's where we're actually going, I'm not sure this is going to do anything.
right.
Now I may have missed part of the subtlety, but I just was like, I'm not a deep Game of Thrones fan.
Right.
Um, but I enjoyed the series and I'm watching the first thing and all of those sorts of, I'm there. But I just went, okay, so I'm in this place, but why? You do get, uh, and I'm gonna say it's probably prosthetic. I can't guarantee that it is a very large white penis.
Oh, really?
And
Right.
I thought, and when you saw it, it's like that is a point of comedy that I appreciate. That is a
Yes.
very nice moment.
Yes.
Um, and because it
I,
just happens.
just by the way, on a scale of one to the rage zombie in 28
Mhm.
years later, like how big?
Oh, Dirk Diggler.
Dirk Diggler. Right. Okay. Yep.
It's
Yep.
very healthy, and if it is a prosthetic, they've done a great job to make it work.
Yep.
Um, so it's fabulous in and of itself. It's just a sideline moment, but of course it then opens itself up to, because we're hearing all of these names, particularly if you're a Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah.
Like the Targaryens are on the Iron Throne. So we're
Yes.
hearing names that in Game of Thrones we heard referred to as the most recent, when the Targaryens were usurped.
Yep.
This is that time.
Oh,
Um,
right. Right. Yep.
so it's immediately before the Baratheons and all of those guys come to power and deal with what they need to do.
Right.
So, it's still brutal. They're trying to hold the Seven Kingdoms together. They're doing what they need to do as being the white-haired idiots that are in charge of everything. But there are no dragons.
Yeah.
Like it's memories of dragons, but no dragons.
Yeah. It's more
Um,
mythological that dragons even existed in that era of Game of Thrones.
yeah, the old people have memories of seeing them or tell, grandiose tales of having seen them, whether they actually did or not.
Yeah.
But on the tip of everyone's lips,
Yeah.
it's Targaryen. We talk about dragons because that is as much where their power was.
Yeah.
So all of that comes to play in. It's almost a boys' own adventure. I loved it, honestly. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, HBO Max Sunday.
All right. I didn't get into the Game of Thrones sequel series. What's that? House of Dragon?
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, just because I kind of got to the end of Game of Thrones. To be brutally honest, even though they fumbled that last season, I also thought the ending was fine, but I was also not in like I am probably more like you. I really enjoyed Game of Thrones, but I wasn't exactly emotionally invested.
And I think the good thing is because it's got that boys' own adventure kind of vibe to it, you don't have to come in having watched a minute of
Mm,
any of the other stuff. You
mm,
can just go, oh, we'll watch this series, and I understand that it's in this fantasy medieval realm. Off
mm,
we go,
mm.
and probably enjoy it pretty neatly.
Yeah,
Because I think that's maybe why the first two eps had me going, right, so I know where it's based. So will I, how does it, is someone gonna, and it's like, no,
yeah,
it's just knights doing knighty things.
yeah, yeah. You'll be fine, mate. Just join
Yeah,
in. You know how this works.
come on.
Tell you what, half an hour, that is delicious.
Oh, mate, it's very satisfying to be able to go, oh no, that they told me a story and
Yeah,
I'm ready for the next one.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I don't feel like a whole cake. Sometimes I just want a bite of cake.
Please.
There we go. It always comes down to food at some point. Mark, this was great. This is the
Yep.
first of many catch-ups that we'll be doing throughout this new season. I'm looking forward to touching base with you about the Pit. We'll talk more
Yes.
about shows that are coming up. I'll try and hit some of those suggestions that you've made. We've got shows that are coming up later in the year. There's, shows that I don't watch like Euphoria, which I'm happy to hear
Mm.
about. I'm really looking forward to the HBO Lanterns series. For All
Yep.
Kind is returning. So we have a broad range of TV shows to really dig into. So I'm looking forward to sharing a 2026 streaming adventure with you, mate.
Oh, so and look, fair warning, Hamo. This Sunday starts I'm a Celebrity on Channel 10, and then in a couple of weeks' time, we've got Married at First Sight on 9, and we've got Australian Idol on 7. Friends, we will not be discussing them at all.
Ah, man, I really started to panic about halfway through that sentence, but you landed it, Molk. You landed it.
Good. We're
So
there.
there's plenty of other podcasts with beautiful people who are willing to
Yeah.
talk about that in ways that do not interest the two of us.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Thank
No.
you very much.
Oh, my pleasure, Hamo. Thank you.
Thanks to Molk for joining me today. I'm looking forward to touching base with him throughout 2026 and season 9 of this podcast. I think I'll go and check out that Brooke Satchwell show. I've seen a few adverts for it, and I've definitely been curious. I didn't know it was Wayne Hope and Robin Butler, who I had the absolute pleasure of working with on season 3 of The Librarians. So I am keen to check this out. So I'll try and watch all of those episodes, and then we can discuss that when Molk comes back in a few weeks to not only discuss what's coming up, but also discuss the Pit and where that's going. Are you enjoying the Pit? Let me know what you think. I thought that was a great first episode. I forgot to say that within the course of one episode, I felt thrilled, I felt excited, I felt grossed out, I felt really sad, I felt inspired, and I thought, oh, what a smorgasbord of emotions to just bring to the table for your first episode. And that's before they've even dialed up the drama, which Molk has suggested is coming. And of course, if you have watched the series before, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. As I said before, if you would like to sign up to the newsletter, to Substack, to extra audio over at Patreon, or you would like to watch my free special over at YouTube, head to justinhamilton.com.au. You will find all the links that suit whatever appeals to you most. So, yeah, I think 2026 is going to be big. There'll be more stuff to talk about, more projects to announce, and yeah, I look forward to spending the year with you. So, as I keep saying to everyone, I hope the inspiration that we experience far outweighs the inevitable disappointments that you encounter along the way. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And yeah, as always, until then.